Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to the channel. We are an adult here. We are not a minor. We follow YouTube guidelines to a T, and this is all for educational purposes only. Nothing is ever being able to be acquired by money. I'll be right back. Figure this out here. All messages. Switch the camera. What's up, Camden? This is our second live.
Now we've established that Tyler Robinson was on campus.
Our first one we were running through Rumble.
Twice in the morning, then during the actual shooting, and then once in the
Brantley,
evening,
Camden beat you.
led into the early hours of September 11th. Officer Tatum, I want to start with you, sir. What was that like watching that footage and hearing for the first time 4 times on the campus of UVU?
Yeah, I can say thanks for having me on. I can say it was an incredible relief that we can match up common sense with evidence and get it presented in court.
You're like second then?
Effort. And because a lot of people
Welcome back.
Well, not a lot of people. I think people without a connected brainstem are saying that Tyler Robinson wasn't even on the campus whatsoever. And obviously we see him on camera.
Welcome back, Russell.
He was even stopped by law enforcement at 12:30 a.m. on the 11th. Where they identified the vehicle and they identified him as a person driving the vehicle. Then they compiled that and compared that to some of the videos that they had from previous days or the previous day. And
at the airport, okay.
That Tyler Robinson was the one driving the car on campus, even though he's not a student on campus. He has no reason to be there. He lived probably 200 miles away. So it was
let's put this in a little bit different other spot here.
Yeah, and which they themselves were aware
There
of.
we
Yeah,
go.
that's the other part here.
The first hour of today was back and forth where they basically, again, were arguing, can we please not show this sequence of video, even the unedited version, can we not show it because there is a quote, realistic likelihood of prejudice to Mr. Robinson's right to a fair trial. That basically this video getting out there would be so viral, so widely seen, it would just make it would make it too difficult for Robinson to have an untainted jury someday.
Yeah, well, I mean, as soon as this went out, it went viral all over. Joe Bob, what did you see from your perch as soon as that video evidence was made public and was actually broadcast too, to Judge Tony Graff's credit?
Yeah, so to back up to the kind of the procedural part of it, there was obviously arguing over whether or not this should be shown. And it was interesting to see, I think he's an attorney representing the media side of it, saying, hey, well, if Judge Graff is going to make a decision on whether this is going to proceed to trial, everybody needs to see what he sees, unless, of course, obviously it's graphic. That way, so
Hi there, Brantley. You do Uber?
When he makes an assessment, people can believe that assessment, which is an interesting dynamic in the court.
I'll have that play while I'm
we're all grateful that this footage is now out in public. In terms of the internet reaction, it was huge. Like everybody I knew shared at least some version of one of these several videos that came out, and the normal people reacted like, yeah, this kind of seems like something we knew was coming, and now it's here. And then you've got 2% of the population who then decided to take it and run a different direction. Well, but okay, well, there's nothing you can do to please those people. But overall, this, as Brandon was saying, kind of put to bed a lot of the.
I got a whole bunch of laundry I need to fold. I did like 4 loads.
Tyler Robinson wasn't even on the campus. Okay, thankfully we finally have footage now to make sure that gets put to rest.
All right, so I totally agree. There's still going to be, theories that emerge that are, I would say divergent from what the state is posting. We're seeing those online. Brandon, what was it like in the courtroom when that was happening? It felt like there's been a couple instances where I've seen Judge Graff actually get a little bit, you can see his patience is wearing thin. He's very good at keeping a deadpan presentation, but you could see there was a couple moments, and then finally he rules on this. What was it like inside the courtroom when that was happening?
Well, for me, it was an incredible relief. I think I can echo the sentiment of most people that's on the Charlie Kirk team, Charlie Kirk side. is that initially it was questionable whether or not they were going to get this amount of evidence.
Mount my
or this
laundry,
type of
gotta
evidence
fold.
into the trial. But towards the end of the day yesterday, we kind of knew that if
Good
we
old
were
man.
right,
Can't believe
evidence
anything I
was
say.
admissible.
Exactly, right?
It was a sigh of relief. And especially
I haven't been following it, so I want to watch
was a
it.
sigh
So
of
I'm like,
relief
okay, we'll
because
see
we
what
were
they
able to get
say.
information in. Therefore, the world can see that Tyler Robbins it's evidence that he was on campus. But the thing that was a little disappointing in part
Is that
there
they're
was
still
another
lying?
variation of the video that had some circles and zooms and blurs on it that I think would have been more appropriate for the audience at large. You know, people in the courtroom, we could see what was going on. We knew what we were looking at. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But to the public, with that video being displayed the way it was, it's not very easy to see unless you zoom in. So the video that the judge allowed to be admissible in court but not viewed by the public was a video that I think would have been a lot easier for people to digest online.
Seems, yeah, I think
But
all is a cover-up.
overall, I think it
Most
was incredibly powerful,
most
and I think it was a sigh of relief
assassination
things were
attempts
going in the right direction for the Charlie Kirk team.
or ones that are actually
I
successful
saw that you posted some kind of
are
selfie videos,
a
Brandon.
cover-up for something, it
I don't know if
seems.
those are on break or whatever during today.
Turn my app on at
in
11.
the middle of the different breaks in the action. But you were talking about this theory of like the patsy theory, and you were talking about
Yeah,
that other
he was
people
a
have been
patsy, I'm pretty
involved,
sure.
and that we're still kind of dealing with this notion of, and I think this is coming from Candace.
We don't even talk about those here,
She doesn't
Ninja.
even believe that he was on
We try
campus
not
that
to,
day.
'cause
She
it-
doesn't
those
believe
are
that this
key
guy was the right height or whatever. Let's go
keywords
ahead and play
YouTube
this
uses
clip and I'll
for
respond.
their
Go for
own agenda.
I
Who do you
don't.
think is behind this?
I don't
Do you think
Tyler Robinson was there.
you don't think he was there?
I think he's a total patsy. I think they get lookalikes and they get everybody wearing the same outfit. I think he played a role, and I believe that what he did was.
I think some of her stuff she talks about is more true than we think.
The Dairy Queen. I think he had a role.
What do you make of that?
Well,
Hey, Ninja, did you see I did part 3 of 3 last night? Where's that today? I posted part 3 of 3 of the mine repellings. Did your children check that out yet? Hey, Elijah. I told them you were going live, as you know, when they were at my house. Part 3 of 3, yeah, I just posted it last night or this morning.
I think people should
Thanks,
be able to
Elijah.
digest this information and say, if a person is going to say he wasn't even there, he was a patsy, and there's no evidence whatsoever presented to back that claim up, then you should probably question what where the person is getting their information from. It is clear as the noonday sun he was on campus 4 times, and for him being a body double or something like that, even the defense isn't arguing this. The thing that people need to understand is that how is somebody who's not associated with the case, has no investigative skills, is not investigating anything, is any substantive thing, going to argue something that the defense isn't even arguing. They're not arguing that Tyler Robinson wasn't on campus. They're not arguing against that. The funny thing
That's
that I found
such
in
a
this
good
trial,
point, Brandon. That's such a good point.
Another thing is
huge.
as well is that the person on campus and the defense isn't even objecting to it, because you would think that the defense will object to it because there's still a probable cause hearing. They haven't determined that they have probable cause to believe yet that Tyler Robinson is in fact that suspect, but the defense isn't even objecting to the prosecution claiming this is Tyler Robinson. He did this, he did that, he walked here, and I'll tell you something else that the defense messed up on, because they're not doing an adequate job when it comes to this, is that she tried to be impartial when she said a suspect jumps off of the roof. Then she says, and then he did this. It's like, well, wait a minute. I thought you were articulating that this is a kind of an impartial person. How do you know if it's a male or female? None of these things have been presented yet. Why are you saying he? It's because they
Haven't
know
been
for
able to make
fact
it to your
that
YouTube.
it
Oh,
was
it's
Tyler
okay.
Robinson. And at least I think they believe it was Tyler Robinson, and those things are being brought up in court. I encourage people to look at the evidence. Quit listening to people online, especially those who do not have law enforcement experience or experience doing
Well, these are
investigations,
mines,
or
they're not
those
caves.
who don't even
Uh-oh.
interview people with experience. You have to put those things together.
So I was at a mine the other day that had bats in it, that when they were digging the mine, they ran into a natural cave. And so they created an entrance by doing the mine. Once they were done with mining, they made the mine entrance closed so you can use it as for bats to live in, as well as it has a lock and key, so that if I wanted to tour it, which I would like to one of these times, you could tour it. Unfortunately, though, right now there's too many bats. That's why I was there at the cave, the mine entrance cave, to see how many bats were in and out, to know how active they were, to see if we could open it yet. It's too active currently to open back up for applying for a key to tour it. Once it's not quite as active, we'll probably check it again this month, because we just checked at the end of June, beginning of July. We'll probably do the same in a month and see how active it is. If it's less active, then we'll eventually open it back up so you can apply for a permit to get in and keys and all that. Never heard of the Charlie guy until it was on the news. Oh, I knew all about the Charlie guy. I'd watch his shorts all the time when he'd be sitting there at the different colleges. My opinion, I don't think it was the firearm they say it was. Do I believe he did it? That's highly unlikely too in some ways. There's evidence pointing he did it, but at the same time there's a lot of holes in all of it too, showing he didn't do it. It's a big, huge conspiracy that I don't think the only people who know about it are the elites that are with the you-know-who-what group. That starts with an E, or an I, Illuma, and then the rest of it. I don't know anything about the Charlie guy. Okay, that one, what about 30-06, and they don't add up. Exactly. What's up, Waits? Howdy, he says.
Together. So listen to what's going on in the hearing. Make the determination on your own, but it has to be rooted in facts and it has to be rooted in evidence.
I think what we've seen it the last few days, and we will see it in the weeks, months,
Welcome back, Dolly.
years to come, is that people who are committed to
I started
this
just
line
on the
of
phone
thinking
vertically
that
instead.
Robinson was a patsy, that Robinson wasn't there, that no one fired a shot from the top of that
Ninja.
building. I don't think they're
I don't think I'm one of those.
believing a particular source. I think they're motivated, frankly, by malice. They want to believe a certain line, and they genuinely don't care what the evidence is. But fortunately, I think most people aren't going in that direction. I wanted to flag
What's up, Rich?
another thing that was very strong, besides the 4 times on campus. I think this gets at the crux of why we can be so confident in this case, that they actually asked Investigator Hall, did you guys have a suspect in this case until you got news that someone had turned himself in? And he said the answer is no. In fact, I think we didn't get a chance to play that earlier. Let's play it now. They're asking about this. This is clip 17.
And isn't it fair to
What's up,
say
Zero?
that as of the moment that Tyler Robinson voluntarily surrendered to authorities in Washington County,
That makes it even
as
more
of that
sus.
moment, you all did not know who the shooter was. Is that right?
We had identified a person of interest, but we did not specifically know who the shooter was at that time.
Uh-huh. Sus.
And you became aware that Mr. Robinson was voluntarily surrendering how? How did you become aware of that?
That information
South
came
Colorado,
originally,
okay.
I believe, from the Washington County Sheriff to the administration at the control
Back and
center
forth
at the
some of this
university
laundry
on the
while you
evening
guys
of the
watch that.
investigation, or the second evening of the investigation.
So that just lays it out. They did not. He didn't get arrested because they'd identified him through a story we've already heard that his parents became suspicious. They
seeing
brought in
pictures of him.
a friend. I believe they said it was a sutmaster of his who had a
Scoutmaster.
former
sheriff's deputy
something
or
like
something
that.
like that.
They loop him in into the part of the process, and he turns himself in.
He calls and said, "Hey, if he turns himself in peacefully, can we do it that way?" They agreed. He goes and turns himself in.
And they didn't. They had a command center at the university. Did not know. They had a person of interest.
Apparently
presumably they
says
identified
got
this
one
person they'd
to
seen on
Duluth?
cameras.
Yes.
Who's
They were
Duluth?
photos.
What's up,
But I
Brandon?
think my interpretation of that was they did not have a name.
They didn't have a name.
They didn't have a particular person they were on a manhunt for. And then they learned that he had voluntarily turned himself in. And
Yeah.
that's the
Can I
defense. That's
jump
the
in here?
defense attorney saying that Tyler Robinson turned himself in. And that's another thing that these people online have tried to deny. ever
Wasn't
happened.
Duluth like a
Right.
trading company for
Yeah,
clothing?
this is incredibly damning to the defense.
That sure is.
When you have no idea who the person is, why would a person that had nothing to do with this voluntarily turn himself in? It's not like
for
they had
someone
his name,
of high
right?
profile
It's not like they
offering
said,
them,
Tyler
yeah.
Robinson did it, we're looking for this guy. And then he said, okay, y'all got me. I'm going to turn myself in without incident. No, this person voluntarily said, I am surrendering, taking responsibility for killing Charlie Kirk. Like, I don't understand how anybody's still questioning whether or not this boy is involved in this. He voluntarily did it. This flies in the face of the theory that he's somehow being used by somebody else. If somebody turned him in, meaning somebody snitched and said, hey, it was him, and they went and picked him up and it happened that way, then I can see somebody saying he's a patsy or something. But why would your parents, who love you, presumably, I said,
I shared it one time on a short by
I'm
accident.
just gonna make this up. I'm gonna act like my son did this.
But it's actually my
heinous
business
crime
one,
that's
so
gonna put him in a bad light for the rest of his life. It's gonna go
it's
down
my
in
business,
history
so it doesn't
that
really
he's
matter.
found
Lots of
guilty,
people have my
that
business
he
number.
killed one of the most incredible men to ever live in the United States of America. And you telling me his parents just turn him in because one day they just got a wild hair and thought it'd be cool to turn their son in for this, and he could be put to death over this. I think the case is closed on that.
Absolutely. And Joe Bob, I want to work you in here in just a second, but what we're talking about, I think, is a really important
Yeah, it's my business
thing,
number.
and that is what the defense has already just sort of admitted to.
So, I mean,
Tyler
that's
Robinson
broadcast
turned
all
himself
over
in.
the place.
You know, it's like it's the dog that didn't bark kind of thing. You know, this is what's interesting. There's there was an analyst on Fox
What's
News
up,
who
Webb?
said it was a Mount Everest amount of evidence presented against Tyler Robinson. And these are people that know prosecutions, that know criminal defense and prosecution.
I know, right, buddy?
It's crazy because, like, what else is the defense not saying, right? They're not saying anything about exploding mics. They're not saying anything about Egyptian planes. They're not saying anything about Mossad. They're not saying anything about regicide. They're not saying anything about any of that stuff. So I just like, to our point here, kind of like keeping us focused on what the evidence actually is saying to us.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm folding
Now,
laundry.
I think
I've been wanting to know some of the news on the trial of late, so I'm just having it planned
Joe Bob here.
while
Joe
I'm
Bob.
folding laundry.
I don't want to jump ahead too far in the day, but there's the commentary that I saw online was when they got to the DNA portion of it, and the examiner there wouldn't say, "Oh, definitive this, definitive that." When actuality, it's U.S. DOJ policy that examiners don't use definitive language when presenting DNA evidence, and
Correct.
specifically in a pretrial. And to that point, on the crazy side, if the word show trial has been thrown around, if this were a show trial,
Exactly,
why would any
Webb.
of the evidence be inconclusive?
Yep, R.I.P.
Okay, wouldn't all of that be tied up? And also, if it's all a lie, if all of this stuff is made up, then you can't use it as your argument. You can't use the perceived inconclusivity as part of your argument. So the whole thing crumbles in the conspiratorial mind. And you know, I pulled up a Bible verse here that's I'm sure been referenced a number of times. This is 2 Timothy 3. Beware of the worms who gain control over gullible women who are loaded down with sins and swayed by all kinds of evil desires.
It's a different translation than I'm
always
used
learning,
to.
but never able to come into a knowledge of the truth. And isn't that exactly what we are seeing in real time? Just, whoa, nothing is ever enough. Okay, so the DNA evidence, the video evidence, the admission of guilt, all of these things,
Oh, the
it's
planted
all
DNA.
fake. It's
I love that you brought this up, Joe Bob. I love that you brought this up. And Officer Tatum, I'm going to appeal to your
He
experience
turns
as a
himself in,
police
and then
officer
magically
here.
the DNA is on all
A
everything.
lot has been made about this ring camera footage that shows Tyler Robinson's car going in front of it, and I guess the owner of the house remembers somebody bald with driving the car with 3 people in it or something to that effect. So everybody's saying, "Oh, see, it wasn't Tyler, you know, driving it or whatever." But the ring camera shows what actually happened, and that's that the car was driving by the house. So explain the difference
By a
between
house. Didn't actually stop.
eyewitness testimony, recollections, you know, the human frailty of memory versus the video evidence pulled from that ring camera.
Well, thank you for going to me with this one, but I think that people have to understand that they're looking at the totality of evidence. In a actual trial, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. So there is a burden that you have to prove that's beyond a reasonable doubt. So you put all the evidence together, and this is why they don't just talk to the people that live in the house and get their written statements. That's why they have a video. Because sometimes people in a haste, or people could be misidentifying certain things. That's why you can't go on their testimony alone either. You have to look at the video and say, okay, now we get what they have said. This is their Ring camera, but what do we actually see? There are people that can look at, we can all of us can look at the same person and we may get their height different. You know, hey, man, I think that dude is 6'3". Somebody say 6'1". Somebody say 5'10". You take the totality of evidence and you put it together and build a testimony of what happens. You don't take little parts here, parts there, and try to make a whole case
You
on
can
it.
just
They're
stream
gonna
your
look at the
laptop
vehicle
screen.
as one
Are you dumb?
element of placing him on campus. But they have a plethora of other
No, I'm not
evidentiary
dumb.
points where they see him here.
I won't be able to do
physically
this,
get in and
though.
out of the car. The traffic stop that happened at 12:30 on the 11th.
What's up, Chris?
Where a police officer identified the vehicle and him driving the vehicle around the same time that he's been, seen on.
Plus,
on
all
the,
that
Ring
stuff
camera.
costs money
So
to
they're
have
gonna
those
put
streaming
all of this
services.
stuff together, and
When
they're
I
gonna
can
be
do it
able to
for free.
present that before a jury, and they're going to have to prove
Kirk
beyond a
sure
reasonable
is
doubt. Now, I
an
want people to
attractive
be very
lady.
clear
I
on
would
this,
like to get to
because
know.
you can't put the cart before the horse.
Gotta
This
place it back. That
pre-trial
was
is a
painful.
probable cause hearing.
That's right.
So all of the evidence that's being presented now does not have to be tested against
You're
other
painful.
experts and scrutinized and cross-examined. It just needs to be presented and eligible to be presented in a pretrial.
'cause I need a beard
the
trim.
win here would be
I'm actually a pretty
probable cause being
good-looking guy,
established
most
to
people
go
say.
to trial. Now, here's the other thing that could happen in this that I think people need to consider, because Tyler Robinson's
the end of the
team
day,
and
don't even
defense
look pretty for
haven't
anybody.
put in a plea. So it
Not
could
even
be
for you,
a very
sorry.
likely scenario where if probable cause is established, they're not gonna. I just don't see them
Money
having
for
a
streaming
chance
service,
in
bro,
the
must
court of
be
law.
high.
And therefore,
Dude,
they may end up
everybody
guilty
charges
in
for
the
streaming
probable cause hearing.
services,
that's
so you
why
can't tell me that's a
sometimes
lie.
it's referenced in the court that there
Even
may not
StreamYard
be a
does,
trial.
which is
And
the
that is
streaming
because
service you're
if
talking
the
about.
evidence is overwhelming, they may plead guilty.
They all cost
That's
money.
a fascinating.
Who's high now?
It's a fascinating idea I hadn't considered yet. Here's
Even
one other
YouTube
thing
costs money.
that I want to get your take on.
You don't
because
want ads.
I saw this going
I have a
around on
channel,
social
therefore
media
I
as
have
well.
a pro.
And this is again when the examination of Officer Hull was ongoing. The
I'm
defense
not a
brought up
Jew.
The fact that there was another bullet found on site. Let's go ahead and get this. And
I'm
get your
playing-
take on it. 32.
Dude, I'm playing
Bullet that you referred to.
a video
Is your understanding that
on the internet right now on my
that bullet
laptop.
was accounted for?
So who's the one? Cuckoo.
Possibly belonged to an officer that could have maybe been clearing
You
his
just
weapon.
said, I know the Jews are bad, but you're literally streaming.
Told about that particular item, yes.
When you said that it was possible that
You're
that
fine.
round was from an officer clearing his weapon, what exactly do you mean by that?
Haywald? What in the world's that?
Our standard practice and
Of course I know how to use YouTube Live on my computer. It's just I don't need to do it on my computer, because if you do it on your computer,
What does that mean?
it only gets pushed horizontal feed, not vertical. So who's the dum-dum now? Which people don't watch horizontal hardly. They watch vertical because they got small attention spans like you. And me. I have small attention span too.
And eject the round. Sometimes in doing so, rounds are dropped or not accounted for.
So, I don't know if you've ever been part of a cruiser-ready team, Brandon, or if you have any experience with this, but explain clearing the chamber, what this means. Have you ever encountered an instance in your professional career where a bullet went missing? Explain all of that to me, and how do you account for how many, how much ammo you have as a police officer, etc.
Settings exist.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think every police officer in America probably.
Hey, Mr. Troll, how's your night going?
Cruiser ready. So you don't want to have a round in the chamber while you're driving around with your rifle in the car.
Why not?
Because if something goes wrong, well, it depends, but more than likely you don't want to have it that way. Because a lot of people carry their rifles in a bag in the trunk. And so you don't want something to happen where you get into a crash or something hit the trigger and a round goes off.
That's
from the
what
back of your
safety's
car. So
for,
you
buddy?
ride with no round
what
in the
safeties
chamber.
are for?
Normally the bolt is you don't want to have the bolt locked either, because then you can drop around in if you hit a bump. So you normally have the chamber, the bolt forward.
Drop around
with
in
no
if you
round
hit a
in the
bump.
chamber.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Because it's time to get busy.
What's up, J-Dog?
You got to chamber one. And so a lot of times they'll rack one and put it in the chamber. Now, if you don't get into a shooting or anything, you got to get the gun
Message
back ready to put back into your
retracted.
vehicle. So
He
a lot of
deleted
times
all
what
his
you do is
messages?
You drop the magazine out and you hit the round and it comes out. Now, in a
Did someone
campus
kick him out, or he
situation where
just
there's active
retracted
shooting
all his
potentially,
messages for then he
I can see an officer getting their rifle ready and leaving the round because they don't have time to stick around and wait for it. A lot of times what I would do is pick my round up, right? Because you have to be accounted for every round that's in the magazine. So it is a
Yeah, as an
possibility that an
officer,
officer could have done that, where they ejected a round because they were getting ready to make their rifle ready to put back in the car. Now, another scenario that could
Bill
have
says
happened
he's
that I
back.
think that the detective or the investigator alluded to was there are some times where in the heat of the moment, you may not know if you have a round in the chamber or not. And so you're going to make
you
sure
should
that there's one in
remember,
the chamber.
but
So
anywho.
you may rack it in order to make sure there's one in the chamber, but there's already one in the chamber, so you accidentally eject the round out. Now, if you're doing that in a heated situation, you're not going to go back and grab the round. You're going to go and you're going to go wherever you need to go with your rifle loaded. So that could have been the case. But nonetheless, we all know what the autopsy has alluded to, at least the evidence that had been presented, that it was a .30 caliber round that was found in Charlie Kirk's body. So
No, I've heard other
found on the
words
ground on the
that
other
it
rooftop
wasn't.
was a 5.56 223. That's not consistent with the caliber round that was found in Charlie's body, so that is not applicable
That is not what
whatsoever
I heard.
anyway.
There
So
was
I think
one
if
release
somebody
that it
wants to
showed it was
question
not
that,
a
they should
30-06,
divert to what
30
the detective
caliber.
said or the investigator said on the stand, as this could be the possibility of that round ending up where it's at. Plus, he was told that that was the case in the first place.
Told. Yeah, hate to be told.
I think that was a great explanation, honestly, and your personal experience with this is invaluable. And it would make sense, by the way. I believe the round was found on another rooftop, and I'm sure that was kind of the
Another
first place
rooftop,
these guys
huh.
were going to go check, anyways, right? So,
Or they may have already been on a rooftop, or to some degree, and then that could have been the reason why they ejected around right there on the
Yeah.
turf.
no, but that was a great explanation, actually. So the we have a couple other clips on that, but I think we've kind of dealt with that. I wanted to get to this point in the proceeding where it was David Englehart's letter, and it was kind of a purpose of the org and Charlie's faith, and
Didn't
man,
it stop
that took
in him?
so long, so much.
They
back
like
and
to
forth. I
say
think
that,
it
but
was,
there's no way a
the lawyer's name
30-06
was
30
Novak
caliber
for the
would
defense.
have.
And that was another moment where I saw the
People
judge
have
get
disproved that
visibly sort of
time and time
patient
again
was
on
patience was wearing
reenacting it.
thin. Joe Bob,
The 30-06
were
does
you
not
watching
stop in a
that?
carcass
And I mean, as
for a
a
body.
non-legal
What's up,
expert,
JP?
who is a Christian, who knows Charlie's, how his faith was so intermixed with him, with what he did, his campus debates.
too powerful
what
of a
was
round.
going through your mind in that moment?
I mean, even a 22 would go
Yeah,
through probably most of
It's
the
getting pulled a
time.
lot of different directions. One is probably similar
Maybe
to
half
what
the
Judge
time.
Graff
A
is
22
feeling. It's
you
like
go
this is a lot for this. To my understanding, again, not a lawyer. It would have been some sort of enhancement to the charge.
Yeah, that's because of the
being that
speed
Charlie
of
was an
it.
outspoken Christian. There's
Exactly.
obviously
See, a 20,
cultural angle of the
30-06 would have did
organization,
way
and
more
did
damage.
Tyler Robinson act on Charlie's faith or the cultural presence of the organization, which is obviously why they would include the letter. I think there's a part of me. There's a lot of evidence there. Is this super necessary?
I haven't been
especially
catching
with
up on
how
the news of
long,
this, so that's why
that
I'm
took?
listening
But then
to
there's
it.
another side of me that thinks, so often there are instances where something happens to some sort of, I don't know, racial minority or ideological minority, and that's the only thing that matters. It was a Muslim person here who's the victim of something,
It's a
or
good
a
take.
gay person here is the victim of something.
Shoot a
And
250-pound mule deer allegedly in the
never
butt
is it
with a
brought
30-06,
up, okay,
and
well,
it
the
will
victim
flip it
was
around to
an
be down and swing.
outspoken,
What's up, Full
devout
Throttle?
Christian, as was the case
Yeah,
in
and that's way
Charlie's
more
case.
meat than
And
a
so,
person's neck.
While there's not going to be an enhancement that's going to be, at least, again, to my non-lawyer understanding, that's going to be higher than aggravated murder. It is good to put it out there and be public about it. Hey, this was at least part of the decision that Tyler Robinson allegedly made to kill Charlie, and Charlie was motivated purely by his faith.
Yeah, and you know, he's in a gay relationship with a trans identifying person, Lance Twiggs, obviously. And by the way, I recommend anybody out there. I think I'm going to tweet this out soon just to kind of help get it back out there. But the Turkey Tom video, I've been told, has been authenticated. Turkey Tom is a YouTuber who interviewed extensively one of their roommates or friends that kind of lived and kind of hung out with these guys, and can give a very first-person experience of what it was like to be around their relationship. And I mean, it's a very depraved.
Lance Twiggs nesting,
the audible sexual relations upstairs, the manager.
Hope you have a great night, Desert. Okay, see you, Webb.
Speculating.
Have a good one.
Oh, my love. Actually, that is how they
Said
talk.
I don't know who it was.
And by the way, throw this up here to your point. Throw this up. This is
exactly.
143. This is what investigators say they found.
Exactly,
these text
JP.
messages between them, and to your point, Joe Bob, this enhancement.
Hey, Dusty.
Of that Charlie was killed for his political and religious beliefs. I had enough of his hatred. Some hate.
Sup, Juicy Juice?
Out.
Oh, I just subbed you a little bit ago.
Ironically, here in
Welcome.
the same text, though, by the way, it explains.
So I know you're new to the channel. Let me see here. Is it going to allow me to flip the thing? Appreciate you coming by. Juicy Juice, you're new. I just subscribed to you a little bit ago. I saw you in someone else's chat that I'm subscribed to, so I subscribed to you. We do cave exploring, outdoor content, shooting, cave exploring, mine exploring, rappelling into mine shafts. We just did part 3 of 3. We posted this morning, I think it was, of rappelling down into roughly a 90-foot hole. I do hiking. I do, some shooting content. So if you like outdoor stuff, rappelling, adventure stuff that maybe you wouldn't do, but it gets your blood pumping, and oh, wow. We do some of that stuff over here. So appreciate you coming by.
Why we
I haven't been up to date on the hearings of Charlie Kirk's offing, so I'm just hearing a little bit of it.
Robinson on campus that night, right?
What's up, Rock?
If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it yet. So that might actually kind of be that full circle from why he went back on campus late in the evening on September 10th into the wee hours of September 11th. But that first part is establishing motive. And that was what that letter was all about. And you're right. You're not a lawyer, but I've been talking to lawyers all day, and I'm sure Brandon understands this well. The death penalty has to be, you have to establish these enhancements, which would be, killed for religious political beliefs, right? So the defense is trying to undermine this argument and take the death penalty off, which makes me think, Brandon, kind of about what you're talking about with the potential plea deal, if he's going to plead at the end of this, right? Because if they could establish
Ragdoll
if
500,
they could
yep.
get the enhancements off by
Exactly.
Judge Graff,
Hey,
get the death
Boondocks.
penalty off the table, they might
Doing
be more
pretty good.
motivated to take this thing to full trial. But if they know they're staring at a death penalty trial,
Yeah, it'll do
that might factor into their calculus. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they have to utilize some tactics here because I think the evidence is pretty overwhelming. And when they finish putting all the evidence together, I think it's going to be very clear to anybody who's willing to listen. But they do have to, the prosecution does have to prove probable cause for 10 different charges. So you have 10 charges. They're going to have to methodically go through and say, this is our probable cause statement that a person who observed this evidence would reasonably believe that Tyler Robinson did this. They got to go through every element. And one of the elements is the enhancement. And the enhancement is very clear that Tyler Robinson opposed Charlie Kirk's religious beliefs. He opposed his political beliefs. And here's one thing that they were trying to differentiate, which I think the judge caught. The defense wanted to make a difference between political and faith. And these two things overlap. Charlie Kirk's religious beliefs or his political beliefs stemmed from his faith. Yeah. And
That's
so
true. That's
Tyler
true.
Robinson's hatred towards Charlie Kirk was political But Charlie's political statements were faith-driven statements. So his lifestyle that he lived, Tyler Robinson lived, some of the reasons why he hated Charlie was all coupled with his political beliefs and faith. Now, this is the reason why this is very important that they're going to have to prove later on in this hearing, is that they charged him with a enhancement based on political beliefs.
Justy says, I
And so
don't
the defense
condone
is trying to
offing a
say
man
these-
outside
trying
of
to say
war
these
of
two things are
self-defense, but
different.
anyone who
So the
uses more than
prosecution
a...
didn't meet the burden of
Yeah, I know,
identifying
right?
that this is
But yet the
political
damage
inside of this
isn't a
statement
308 or
from
bigger.
Echols. I think
The
I
damage
think
is
it
not.
was
It's
Engelhart.
smaller than that.
Engelhart.
Engelhart, because Engelhart's document was mainly religious. But I think the prosecution to be able to identify that there is no separation between these two things. They're virtually the same, and that Tyler Robinson's lifestyle was antithetical to what Charlie was saying, which is why he wrote those things and then eventually shot and killed Charlie.
Yep.
I want to get to two
Possibly,
more
yeah.
things here. I want to get through the DNA, which was a really, really laborious thing. I mean, I don't know. I see you
Way to
shaking your head. I mean, it was
30-ish,
hours.
6 says
Hours.
about-
You can tell that they brought this
Yeah, it
attorney
would,
on
about
to
100
the
yards,
defense
you're
team
right.
specifically for forensic cross-examination, because this guy was asking very much in the weeds, and eventually the judge did basically try and rein it in because it was dragging.
It was going and going. I just want to make sure we play this because it came after our last segment, just where they're asking, they had items that had intermingled DNA of Lance Twiggs and Tyler Robinson, and they were laying out the odds that this was anyone other than Tyler Robinson on this object. Let's do clip 31.
Male DNA was obtained from item 7 sub 1. Item 7 sub 1 was interpreted as originating from two individuals, one of whom is Twiggs. The DNA results from item 7 sub 1 and what are 1.7 octillion times more likely if Twiggs and T. Robinson are contributors than if Twiggs and an unknown, unrelated person are contributors. Male DNA was obtained from item
see, I
8
don't-
sub 1.
oh, yeah, there we go.
Item
Dusty
8 sub
talking
1 was
truth, yep.
interpreted as originating from two individuals, one of whom is Twiggs. The DNA results from item 8 sub 1 are 30 quintillion times more likely
30
if Twiggs and
quintillion?
T. Robinson
What's
are
the big number
contributors
for,
than
lady?
if Twiggs and an unknown, unrelated person are contributors.
Do you know if Lance Twiggs' DNA was obtained for comparison in this test?
Yes, it was.
And how was that DNA obtained?
It was obtained by law enforcement officers.
Okay, so quintillion, I don't even know what that is.
That's a lot.
After a trillion.
That's a lot.
So-
I don't know. I'm not good at the maths, but I can tell that's a lot.
And the first one I think was 1.7
Octillion.
so eight times illion, and so that's
So I want to make a point here because I've seen the internet running wild with this one too. So Lance Twiggs'
shirt
DNA was
attracts
also
hair like
found on the
crazy.
towel, and a lot of it actually. And I don't want to get like down some weird,
Let's see.
rated R kind of thing, but it's
realized
these
we were
were two
gonna be
men that were
talking
living
about-
together, and who knows
Just gonna make
where
dinner
that
and
towel
talk
came
about
from. I'm just
bats
gonna
and
leave it
caves.
at that, okay?
some people have been running with.
Oh, you know me, once in a while I do something
apparently had
different.
More of Twiggs's DNA
Well,
on
yeah.
it than Robinson. Same with the screwdriver.
That's why I
wouldn't be
do
surprised if
cooking
the
stuff
obvious
sometimes.
explanation is that Robinson
be
just
something
took those
different for the
items
channel.
from Twiggs.
From Twiggs, yeah. So, but here's let me just make this clear.
Queer, make it queer.
As a reminder, Twiggs is believed to be cooperating with the prosecution and maybe receiving. A limited
This is
immunity
from Kentucky
in
Ballistics.
exchange.
I got it
Now,
from
of course, and I think,
250
Tatum, you
years.
said this on one of your videos. If it comes out that he actively participated in the murder, that immunity would presumably go away. And I would be totally in support of that, okay? As I would be in support of if it comes out and is revealed that other people had foreknowledge,
know
other
very
people
much about
radicalized him,
long-distance
other
shots.
people were
I'm more of a
involved.
fast
That's
draw,
not
close
what this
range shooter.
case is about. This case
20
is
bag
about
large quantity
did
shooting.
Tyler Robinson.
I'm not sure. What's up,
kill
accidental
Charlie?
cleavage?
Okay.
That sounds
Still have
funny.
questions about
Interesting
how did he
name
get
there.
radicalized? Who influenced him? How did he get to that
Thanks
point?
for coming by.
1,000 billion%.
So we don't normally listen to news, but here and there we do. Our channel normally is about exploring caves, mines, hiking, rappelling into mines and on cliffs and stuff. We do a lot of outdoor hiking. We also do shooting content. So if you like that stuff, it's a joke about a pedo. Who knows? Let's see here. Out to 300 yards, which will be plenty effective. Actually, he said 22 mag, so it's a little different.
And I have questions about Lance Twiggs. A lot of questions
22
about
mag
Lance
would be a little
Twiggs.
different.
But for this purpose, he is a state witness against Tyler Robinson. Officer Tatum, do you have anything specifically you want to say about that?
Yeah, I think the kind of
I'm from Arizona.
DNA question mark.
Lorne
is-
Armstrong, look it up.
I think that the
Oh,
purpose of
screenshot
the
it.
questioning by the defense was to just
I'm from,
go
Southern
along
Arizona.
and draw the thing out. They never got to any foundational conclusion. I don't understand how the judge allowed them to do this for 3 hours. This is a probable cause hearing. The only burden that the state needs to prove is that is this admissible and is the documentation reliable because the source is
On the
reliable.
wrong side of
That's
YouTube.
it.
Oh,
It should
yeah.
be admissible in
They've-
court.
I think I
They
am
drug
too,
this
'cause they don't
thing
like
on,
me.
And the judge said
They don't like my
several times,
content.
reminding both counsel that this is a probable cause hearing. So I think that this was just a tactic.
They
by
don't
the
like
defense to draw
freedom
this
of
thing
speech.
on
They don't
so
like
that the
USA
defense
and their
or prosecution
freedoms.
couldn't
Anytime we
cross-examine
try
the
to
witness and get the facts
use
out
our
the
freedoms
way
here, they
should
want
be
to suppress
presented.
us.
Also,
YouTube.
the Lance Twiggs thing.
I know personally a friend that's a
the reason why
YouTube.
you
They
would give
suppressed
somebody
his channel
limited
because of
immunity
it.
is that
His
they
freedom
are
of speech and rights.
involved to
They
a
accused
point
him of
where
piles
the
of things
things
and
that
shut
they
his
say
channel
could
off
get
just a
them
couple
in
days
trouble.
ago.
And so you say, I'm going to give you immunity up until the testimony that you give, and you could give us the
Ever
testimony
had or
and
had
you
shot
won't
a
go to jail
22
over
mag.
this. Now,
job.
if
Yeah, it
we
could.
find out later through other investigative methods that you're
Yeah, it could
involved,
be
you're
for
still
some
gonna go to
people,
jail
yeah.
for that. But the testimony that you give, because it could be incriminating to you, and obviously it probably will.
I mean, you could be watching me fold laundry. 100% go to prison. The trial is just theatrics. Yeah. You could be watching me do folding laundry. I'm folding laundry over here. So the towel was used. Happy time rag with extra DNA. Why can't they just come out and say it? My favorite stops in my rodeo days was Phoenix. There you go. You smoking? It's all the theatrics. Yep. It's all theatrics. I think so too. A lot of it. Yep. All right. Let me put you back on there. You guys can watch the theatrics.
That's why they gave
I'm
them
folding
limited
laundry,
immunity.
so.
You can feel free to tell us everything you know and how you were potentially involved in this. Now, the DNA aspect of it is that I think they were trying to prove that the items couldn't have been something that wasn't associated to Tyler Robinson. Because if the towel was just found in the bushes, it could be anybody's towel. The towel could have been, placed there by somebody else.
Yep.
But because Lance Twiggs and Tyler Robinson's DNA are on the items, it draws the connection to Tyler Robinson because they live in the same place and the items must have come from his house. And so when you have the gun, at least a screwdriver and the towel, both of those things associating the two individuals together would indicate that this couldn't have been external. This couldn't have been somebody planting it on Tyler Robinson and
Most
put
of
his
it.
DNA on there.
No,
mysteriously.
all of it.
It had to have been something that came from a
Scratch that.
domain
All of
or
it.
dwelling that they both shared. And I think
It's sad that
Lance
someone
Twiggs
has to
may have
be
prepped some of this stuff for
lose
him,
their life
which is
for
probably
someone's
how he got the
theatrics,
partial
right?
immunity. And then they're
No
gonna-
matter
he's
if
gonna
you
testify
liked him or
against
not,
Tyler
it's
Robinson
not
in
right
court.
to off someone.
One other thing here, real quick, and then I want to throw to Joe Bob with this story that came out from
I mean,
inside
obviously
the court in
it's
Erica.
offing
But,
someone is
I see people
so
saying
wrong.
that, is there any footage of the shooting and the prosecution saying no? You guys have probably seen this. A lot of people are running with this on social media.
They'll run with anything.
That is not what
Oh,
happened.
this
What actually
is
happened,
silly.
and this is about the compilation
Done with it. Tyler
video.
done did it.
They're asking,
Sparky?
basically, was there anything
Something to talk about.
visible
That's
the
about it.
shooting in that
There's
video?
more pressing things happening, like the
And they said no.
16
In that
children in
specific
Ohio.
exhibit, they were asking, is there
Was
footage of the shooting?
that the one that they found all the children locked up in a basement or something like that? One of my subscribers were telling me about it. And I think the oldest one was maybe 13, 14, 15, something like that. Be right back. Okay. Someone told me about that, if that's what I'm thinking of. They were locked up, malnutrition, in their own feces, all sorts of sad stuff. Georgia now, and God, every summer I miss the Southwest, especially Texas and Arizona. There you go. Pile up old Sparky. I'm not sure who old Sparky is, but anywho. Oh, wait. You found a room full of human waste. That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, 18 couldn't spell our own name. Yeah, one of my subscribers just, let me see here if I can find that. They just told me about that.
No.
But, let's see. So you say that's in Ohio? Ohio. Ohio children. I'm not sure what you want to call it. What should I call it? What's up, Ethan? They found a room full of, yeah. Hamden or Hambledon, not sure. It's right here, Southwest. Hampton. Let me put in Hampton. Hampton. See if they got anything on that. New details after 16 children rescued from deplorable Ohio home. See, I haven't looked it up yet, so let me see. This one's new, Fox. Let's see what they say. I haven't actually looked it up yet.
Live now. My name is Alexander Goldberg, and more today on the House of Horrors in rural Ohio, and still lingering questions about how 16 children, ages 18 months old,
It was a
to
setup.
18 years
I don't
old
think
were
this was,
living
but yeah, the other
in
probably was.
deplorable conditions. Authorities say 16 children from the same family were rescued from a dilapidated home, living in human waste all around them and confined to just one room over
That's just
much of the
gross.
past 4 years. The children's parents and 2 grandparents were charged with felony child endangerment. Gary Siders Jr., Gary Siders Sr., Christina Siders, and Elizabeth Siders pled
This is the first
not
time I've
guilty
looked it up,
in
so.
court. Joining us now to discuss is defense attorney Jeremy Rosenthal.
That's so
Jeremy,
sad.
thank you so much for coming on Live Now.
Thank you, Alexander. Good to see you.
You too.
Toddlers,
So
wow.
these adults were accused of second-degree felony child endangerment. Tell us about these charges.
Okay, child endangerment
What's up,
is
Brian?
what you would call an inchoate crime.
Got a booth, the
And
scan
for
screen? I'm not sure what that is.
First-year law students, what you learn about is that crimes happen really one of 2 ways. Most crimes are intentional crimes, things that we do on purpose. If somebody robs a bank, somebody robs a gas station,
that's on
somebody
purpose.
assaults another person, those are going to be intentional crimes, and they're going to require what's called a mental state. An inchoate crime is a crime of omission. You failed to do something, and because you failed to do something, there was a negative result.
Yeah.
Parents owe a duty to children. It's fairly simple. And when a parent fails in their duty and exposes children to danger,
Ryan.
extreme danger, and causes injury and causes this type
JP.
of neglect, then it can be sort of criminalized. And the statute is sort of broad, and it expands to include people who are what is called in loco parentis. And essentially that means in place of the parent. So a parent, a guardian, somebody who owes a special duty to a child, or it could be an adult, or it could be somebody who's disabled. That's how inchoate crimes work.
Of course, all are innocent until proven guilty, but looking at these charges, what would a penalty look like if there was a guilty
even
conviction?
without even looking.
Because it's not an intent crime, it doesn't really hit the higher rungs of criminal punishment. What it could be is you're looking at somewhere between 8 and 12 years is what I've seen under the Ohio
And then they
statutes.
can't raise any more children.
And so in those instances, Ohio has some
No more
different
children
sentencing
raising for
factors
you.
which could potentially increase things. But it's really hard. You've got.
Would they even
16
treat a dog
children
that
who
way?
are injured,
What's up, Red?
Clearly mentally injured.
Boofing
Clearly
the sunscreen
physically
only works
injured,
if you're
after
face
being
down.
in everything
Arse
we've read
up
about,
enough
it's
to
just-
require
it's
the
just as
SPF.
tragic as
Yup.
it can be. And
Question
it's
your
really
choice in life.
difficult
Yup.
to
What's up,
link
Moist?
Those to any type of an
Did a
intentional
knob move
act. If
today.
you could,
Took 3 out,
then
6 to
you could
shoot.
definitely
Forgot to
have a
take
higher
the
punishment
wad out
here,
after cleaning.
in these instances. As it
Sound
is,
proofing
you might be
faster, trust
looking
me.
at 10 years,
Inside
12
out, huh?
years,
Dusty
something in
says.
that range per case.
I'm cruel for this,
Well,
but I
does the
really
law
believe that
treat
hanging should
parents
not have been
differently than
outlawed.
grandparents?
Yes. And
One of the last
again,
hangings
what
were
we
actually in
turn to is,
Tombstone.
what is your relationship with that child?
I don't know what he means by blot either.
In
Probably
the
cleaning
abstract,
stuff.
The grandparent may really not have a duty to their grandchild. Now, if you're living with a child, yes, you certainly would. And if you are in, again, what you would call in loco parentis, then yes, you would have a duty to that child. So in those instances, it doesn't matter that you're a parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, or anybody like that. If you're the guardian and you're the main caregiver for a child or within a group of caregivers,
You
then
took the
you are
bolts out,
certainly,
and then you didn't have it anymore, huh?
within that group, then you're certainly going to be culpable. And then
Public
punishment-wise,
hangings were
the
around.
law's not
Yeah,
really
they
gonna make a
would.
distinction whether or not you were
Or like other
biological
countries, you
parent
lose an arm or a
whether
leg
you
or a
were
foot, or
grandparent. I
makes
don't
the
know that
rifle
anybody's
very
gonna be
boring.
able
Yeah.
to avoid liability here.
the figure
because
dyslexia powers
they might be a
activated.
generation removed.
Mine's been activated
based
since
on
I
the
was born.
conditions that everybody's heard about and that we've seen. Liability is pretty clear here.
I see. And officials said it seemed as no one outside of the family knew about these children.
I don't know
A couple
how.
interviews with
18
neighbors and the
years?
public come into play as investigators continue this discovery process.
I think what we're seeing here is that there's a blind spot in the system. The system
spot.
is designed to sort of have tripwires, if you will. Children come to school malnourished. They come to school bruised. Children outcry abuse to people who they trust, who may be outside the home. People go to the hospital. They have to go to the
Zero.
grocery store, and
Rounding
so
it,
we all
then
sort of
smack
live
it with a
in
nail
these-
and hammer. Yeah, I thought of the
these
same thing.
Webs
I
of
think tomorrow we'll
society,
do a final
and there's
test.
these
Not to mention
tripwires
hanging
that-
is one of the most
that
cost-effective
really
methods.
don't
Yep.
get triggered if
Don't even have to turn the
everybody's
power on.
just in the same house
for,
all day, every
electric
day. There's no real exposure to the outside world. So what we're seeing is that the neighbors didn't see or hear anything, which
know
wouldn't
how.
be surprising. My understanding is this family moved around quite a bit. Maybe that's on purpose to avoid detection. Maybe that's just sort of their nomadic nature. But they just had very little exposure to the outside world and just didn't really hit a lot of those tripwires.
Right. I think you're alluding to in schools mandated reporters. And I wanted to mention here these 16 children, they were not enrolled in school. I want to move on to our last question here. We know that authorities found the children while carrying out a search warrant in a separate, unrelated investigation. Will all of the evidence that they discovered on Wednesday, will it all be admissible in court?
Provided the original search warrant was valid.
Let's
then
see
yes,
here. What's up, Gunner?
Anything and everything that they
These glasses are
find,
gay looking. Yeah, I know, right?
it
Firing
ends up
squad,
being
eye
a
for
big
eye.
admissible in
Yeah.
court. A good search
Duck,
warrant
hello.
allows for
Seem to sensible,
expansion
so I'll
of
move on.
investigation into different areas.
Sensible? Yeah, I'm
And
pretty
so that's
sensible.
very
What's up,
common
Ryan?
to
Thanks for
see,
coming by the way.
that a
This Ohio is
search
very
warrant
gay.
allows
What
police
happens
to get
in
into a
Ohio
house,
stays in Ohio.
and that they can search anywhere where
Says
the
that was probably
contraband
also
that
the
they may
smell.
be
It would have kept
looking
everyone away.
for
Yeah,
could
you'd think. They
possibly
think
be.
it would smell. You think it'd
So
smell so
that-
bad
that's
the
gonna
neighbors report
include
that.
rooms, other spaces, but once the police are
So,
in an
is
area
dude on the
lawfully,
screen talking about
anything and everything that they
mandated
discover
reports that already got them off
through
the
their
laws?
lawful
Not sure.
search is fair game. And that would be
Holds tight.
now where you could
Powers
run
up
into a
by
problem,
fingernail.
and I don't see it happening
Looking
here,
for
is
intent, not sure how
if
you
you
can press
had some type of
disconnect.
cyber evidence or phone evidence
to
or
that,
things
oh, well,
like
okay,
that,
guys.
you would need additional warrants to sort of
Okay,
breach those
homophobic
spaces.
comments,
But that
definitely not in
doesn't
the right
sound
place.
like it's necessary here. The
My
example
internet
that you
is
give
so
at law
bad I
school
might have to
is,
get off
for a car
if it's
that gets
cutting out.
pulled
Oh, sorry
over,
about that.
and then if there's a search,
Let's see, JP, haha, Kenny
that's
sent me
lawful,
the red dot
of an
finally.
automobile,
Oh, you
say
want it?
Maybe there's drugs that are
That
detected
crashed
or
like 5
smelled or
times
something
already.
like that,
Wow.
and they find a dead body, then that's
That's weird.
that's fair game. The investigation
Keeps
can
crashing
expand
on
into
you.
those areas.
All
Happy
right, Defense
YouTube,
Attorney
King.
Jeremy Rosenthal, we thank you so much for coming on live now with your explanation of how the law works and helping us understand a little bit more about this case.
Have a good evening and have a good weekend.
All right, and we do want to play out a short soundbite from authorities speaking in Ohio yesterday. Take a listen.
Defendants were arraigned on 16 counts.
Did you sniff it moist? What? Let's,
Second-degree
what in the
felony
world?
a child endangering. They were assessed a $300,000 cash or surety bond per defendant. They were ordered to have no
Per, so that's
contact
600.
with each other as co-defendants. They were ordered to have no contact with the victims. We believe, will be requesting court-appointed counsel and will anticipate getting ready for the next stage, which at this point would be a preliminary hearing if they request that, or if they don't waive it, and that'll be with their counsel. Right now, the abuse, neglect, dependency complaints that have been filed are being heard by the Vinton County Juvenile and Probate Court. The initial hearing occurring now. We
Let's
are
see
asking for
here.
temporary
Although
custody
accidents, cleavage
to
is
Job and
such a
Family
very
Services. The children are safe.
trans.
They have been placed. We have.
I mean, they can be in here.
some
I don't
other
care that
issues
they're
we're
in
still
here.
dealing with
They were
for
fine
their
until you guys
safety,
started
but
picking.
They are currently in a good situation and are being protected.
They
The
were
last thing I want to mention
causing
very
no
quickly,
harm at all. The other
particularly
guy
for our
was.
local
He left a
community
long time
folks,
ago.
is this is an intra-family
Not
situation.
Ryan. There's another guy.
This is not human trafficking. There is nothing to put our other children at risk. This is clearly involved a multi-generational family in a very limited situation. We know the early reports came out that some of this might be going on, but we want to assure the public that their children in Vinton County are safe and they do not have to worry
Let's see here.
about
To the
these
gay man that
defendants.
replied, those glasses aren't stylish, just extremely gay.
All right, here on
Sex
Live
may
Now
have
from
offended
Fox,
by
let's now
friendly,
be
zesty
joined by
remarks that didn't
Darcy
include him.
Olson, CEO and founder of the Center for
Glizzy
the Rights of
goggles.
Abused Children, to discuss further. Darcy, how could
Darcy,
this go
hello,
unnoticed
Darcy.
for so many years?
That's the question that everyone is asking. And
Inside
I have
job.
to think that over the next few weeks, as more and more people come forward, what we're going to learn is that people did see, they did observe the children in different
Oh, so they
situations.
did. People were
And
lying.
just didn't make that phone call. So there was an
Why would you
employee
not
at
make a
local
phone
store
call
who
when the
said,
house
the
is
children,
stinking and
I
you see
a
the
child
children the way
almost
they
every
are?
night coming in,
They
and
should
were
get
super,
charged for
super skinny, and
neglect
their hair was
by like a
always
third
on their
degree or
face, and
something,
the
you know,
parent
like
didn't, the parents
we're
didn't
not
let them talk
reporting
to
it.
anyone. When you see something like that, that just
That's
is
Glizzy
so
ACOG.
extraordinarily,
Let's see here. Okay, I think they get some glittery
it gives you
glasses.
that
I can
feeling
barely
that this
see
is not
anything.
normal,
Uh-oh.
and this child is too thin. That's when you make that phone call. And I think what happened is that when these children were observed, those phone calls weren't made. And so
Like, why
it's
would you
just
not?
critically important. If you think you're seeing something, say something, and then let the police do the investigation.
They should be charged for something.
Really
I'm sorry, that just should
devastating.
be.
Darcy,
They had to
what
live in
does justice for,
House
the,
of
for these
Horrors
children look
longer
like?
because of it.
Well, we're all looking for some glimmer of hope in this situation. And I think the fact that these 16 children are still alive is something that everyone is holding on to. And that the 4 perpetrators or alleged perpetrators are behind bars.
Alleged.
You know, I think like
They
most
are
people
then.
out there,
Quit
I
saying
don't
that.
know that there can ever be justice in a situation like this. But I mean, the law will carry out the
Justice
law
will be
and they'll be
hanged.
prosecuted. But will the children ever recover? And I mean, that's the bigger question. Will they have justice? Will they have normal lives?
Allegedly
What's next
acquired
for them? And I think
CZ.
we have to
What
really
model?
resist that fairy tale
Those glasses were okay. That one I already
rescue
read.
idea, because we
Of
know
safety
that when
equipment for
children are
biological
neglected for
fluids. What's
this
up, Blue
many
Forth?
years, that sometimes they
That
may
is the
never
ACOG.
be normal. Sometimes
A
they're
glizzy
never able to
tactical
care for
hot dog,
themselves.
yep.
And so we can hope for the best, fight for the best, pray for the best.
CZ's out of this for
but
one, right?
also,
They weren't in
be
last time.
realistic
A P10, nice.
about, the consequences of this kind of
For
neglect
saying
going
your name in
unreported and
vain, but don't
unnoticed.
afford to see all
Absolutely,
of
and
these
I
other
do want to
guys.
talk about
I'm
shelter
jelly.
and how these children can at least start to
You're
get
jelly?
on
Hey, I'd love a
path
Shadow
to some sense of
CZ2.
normalcy. I know you do
Shadow
a lot of
2
great work
CZ.
at the center, so hopefully you can help us understand some details about the child welfare system. We know that child welfare
Well, I got most of the
officials
laundry
have
folder.
temporary
There's a little bit, I
custody
think,
of
in
the
my room
16
yet.
children. When could they be in a safe, even permanent living situation? And do you think all 16 of them can stay together?
So each child is going to be different, right? One child was intubated, a few are out of the hospital. So they're in really different situations as far as their physical health. And the same will be emotionally, behaviorally, mentally. And so
I have some pants outside that
the
are
first
still
thing is they
drying.
have to make sure that the child is physically safe, and then they have to see what their capabilities are, and then they have to assess what's going to be best for that child. So for some of them, they might be able to be with a sibling or 2 or 3. Some may end up having to be in therapeutic
Let's
hospitals
see
or
here. I love the
psychiatric wards.
P10.
And
First time hearing
so
Ninja Pirate.
it's one of those things.
Well, thanks
that
for coming
will
in, Gunner.
unfold.
We
And I
do a lot
wanna say
of
it's
shooting
critically
content, hiking,
important
cave exploring,
that
rappelling,
the
all sorts of cool
authorities
outdoor
in the
stuff.
child welfare system, that they run
Safe
all of the
with
background
115
checks,
grade
that
ammo.
they do the criminal fingerprinting and so forth. When the Turpin children were found in California, it was a very similar horrific situation. And several of those children were put into a home where they were
Sometimes you
re-abused.
guys do
And
feral
because
in the
they
chat.
hadn't vetted
Oh, this
the
is
home
nothing
carefully
compared to
enough.
the
And
porch
so
with J-Mac.
It's just so critical to make sure every step of the way that these children are with the safest people
ain't
who
seen
have been
nothing.
vetted, and that they only have the best care from now on, and that's going to give them the best chances for recovery.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
as you
anyway,
mentioned,
yeah,
a couple of them are getting medically
Her voice is kinda
evaluated.
unique.
After that, what does that path to normalcy look like?
Divorce
Enrolling
B
in
going crazy.
schools,
Unfortunately, yeah.
reintegrating
Can't do much on
into
that anymore
life.
because of my army
Talk to us a little
injuries.
bit about that.
Oh, hiking and stuff or
Well,
shooting
in
content?
2005, there was a little girl called the Girl in the Window, and she was known as Danny Crockett at the time, and she was adopted into a really loving home. And 10 years later, she was still pre-verbal. She couldn't take care of herself, and she actually has to live.
That's a
full-time with
neglect from the people who
caretakers in
gave
an
that got her.
institution. And her adoptive father says it's just so heartbreaking because she's got a 25-year-old body and kind of a 2-year-old mentality.
No,
And so this was
that's
a child who
if
had
they're in
had
a new
neglect
home for
6
10 years, that is the problem with the
and
new
those
people.
windows for development seem to have closed.
No.
So even despite the best
No,
care
I don't
and
believe
all
that.
of the love and therapy that
I
she
do not
had.
believe
So
that. Unless you're like,
that situation can
like,
happen,
totally,
but
like-
we've also seen children who have been
you literally have, like, brain
resilient
dead or
and
something.
recovered from situations after 10 years or 15 years of enduring things that we don't even have the words.
Oh,
we
let's
don't
see
even have
here.
the
Rich
words
guy
for.
collects
So
divorced dad
anything is
playing cards.
possible, and
Lincoln
it's
JP just got an
I
OLED bladder
wanna
S light
express,
laser and
my
pretty
gratitude
happy.
for the
Nice.
first responders who went in there and accompanied these children to the hospital, and the caretakers who were there holding their hands and trying to communicate with them, and those folks are going to live and be haunted by these children forever. And I think I speak on behalf of the nation that we're so grateful that people do this for children and families every day across America. We're grateful to them, and it's because of good people like that and the good homes and the good care that they're going to get that these children will have hope for a brighter future.
Absolutely. Well, let's wrap up. Tell us about the Center for the Rights for Abused Children and how you guys help in scenarios similar to these.
Let's see, what do we got?
Thank you. Well, I fostered 10 children and
Working,
adopted
going
4.
verbally
and that's how
assault.
I
You're
ended up
going to have
starting the Center for
nightmares.
the Rights of
Eat
Abused
so
Children
much
because I
bleep, it's
realized
affected
that,
his nutrition.
we always think of children's
Enjoys
physical
inverted
safety,
comedy,
that's all
balloon
we have to be
dancing,
concerned
and
with,
well,
but I
that we don't
realized
have
sometimes
here.
when they
What's
go
up,
into
work?
the system, they're still not safe, and the laws are still not there to be protective of them. So we have
Don't
pro
get my
bono
channel
attorneys
blocked with
who
writing
work
that
for
stuff,
free, who take
Mr.
children's cases all over the
M60.
country when they're in these terrible situations, and often they have no one to represent them or fight for their rights in court. And so we
People usually
stand
just
in
put
for them,
corn
and then we try
in
to
there.
shape policies to make it better for children. So, for instance, there are actually people who are trying to get rid of mandatory reporting. So right now, if you see abuse, you're supposed to call that in. And there are people who think that's
of
not
course.
a good idea, and that people shouldn't have to make those phone calls. And we're going to advocate that those calls need to be made because children can't fight for themselves, and they can't make those calls themselves. And so it's up to us.
And the
as a
Bible says
community,
if you offend
to
one of the
step
little
in and
ones,
rescue. And then
if you offend one of the little ones, it was worse for you if you were cast into the ocean with a heavy weight upon your neck and drowned. It'd be better for you to do that than to offend a little one. Mm-hmm. That's why I say wood chippers for all the girls, the ladies and men who offend little ones. And a snip snip for both of them. Good joke, by the way. See here, you need to time out JP for at least 10 seconds. I have a Nikkor. Yeah, I have a Nikkor too. Mine runs actually even bigger batteries than that. It's a 4,000, I believe, lumen. It runs 2,800. What? 21,650 cells. 21,650 cells. Let's see. for 10 seconds. There he goes. Probably the Matador flashlight. Probably. A kitty cat would be better. My insurance a little better. Internet, you probably meant. So easy to go with Nikkor for handhelds, but love my E3 Tios and such took chance. Yeah, I had that one that was a Phoenix that went kaput for some reason. I can charge 21650s too. Even double A's. Yeah, it's 21650s, my Nikkor. It just runs one of them. I think it's a 4000. Originally I thought it was a 5000, but I looked at it and it's just something 4K on it, so it's probably a 4. Skittles, what are you doing? My little puppy doggy. What's up, bud? I need to wash dishes. I need to wash dishes, mate. Skittles, where's the towel? I think it's in my pile of stuff that I just folded. Where's that towel at, Skittles? Didn't I bring one in and fold it? Where'd I put it, Skittles? Gotta get a towel. All right, got a towel, put it on the counter, and then put the dish, what do you call it? The dish drain on there. That way if there's any drips, it goes in the towel, you know? You know. Let's see here. Must have been using Nikkor for about a decade. Chargers, power banks, headlamps, and hand torches. Good stuff. Just got an MT2C 18560 powered. Gotta go to bed myself, going to the dentist and try the wax denture before they make me ruins. Okay. Taking bleeping forever. Yep, gotta go back to work. Stay zesty, my struggling snuggles. Stay zesty. That sounds like Baba Yaga. Below average Utah dad. Just want smile bones again so I can bite people, not gum them. Allegedly. Bel Air 15 that holds 150 rounds and 5 30-round mags all over it. Call it the barnacle. It's a barnacle, mate. It's got barnacles. Isn't that what people say when something's going wrong? Sailors go, barnacles. Isn't that what they say, Skittles? Sailors? Barnacles. Gotta scrub up some dishes. Organize them a little bit. So I can wash them more easily. Grab them better that way. Get some hot water coming. Couldn't afford a 10-round mag. He's got the Death Star. Just spent my coffee out 150 rounds. Yeah, he's armed. 150 round drum new metal mag. That's a space station. AR-9 costs $12 for 50 shots is better than 10 for 20. They're not $2 a round for 5.56. Most of the time they're 60, 55. I forget what they are right now. I haven't bought any in a while because I've had a stash of them. I don't shoot my AR a whole bunch because most of the time YouTube likes to suppress stuff that they don't like, and obviously they dislike that stuff a lot. Let's see here. One of the funniest things most means is that who pointed out that when you figure the cost of the ammo that gets burned on the range, we could have bought a 10K guns allegedly. Couldn't run it for 2 and super safety in there because it's 2 pound and too slow. It'd go boom boom. Air 9s are slept on, especially if you want to share mags with primary sidearms. The nice thing about those AR 9s, they're made in Lake Havasu, Arizona. Use my 60s with 30s. I can edit 240 rounds on rifle. I look silly with shoulder so well. 9 pew-pews and load 10 round and a 30 round because it makes it much last longer. I blew the 7 by 57 Mauser up allegedly by putting 7mm 8 in. 7mm -8? Yeah, you don't want to do that. About 12 gauge, so I can't shoot twice a year. What's up, Tristan? Nice hat. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been a while. So allegedly blew up an antique shotgun by putting 3.5-inch Magnum shells and was chambered for 2.5. Yeah, or 2 3/4. I acquired a 16 gauge antique that shoots brass 2.5-inch. So if you know of a source that I can get brass shotgun shells that are 16 gauge. Buffalo Cartridge Company finally had them in stock, and I was going to get them, and then they got out of stock again. So allegedly, okay, that one I read. Yeah, it has just SBR to 22 lever, turn mirrors leg into a short sniper with an FPR. Yeah, you showed me some pictures. That was kind of cool looking. Allegedly. 800 cheeseburger toy. When you get some more soap, we're almost out of it. This is from my aunt that passed away. She had some soap, and so I brought it home with me. I have no idea where FAL Man is. Utah is, he's in service right now, so he can't do posting. He's on base. FAL Man went kaput. Tactical Llama went kaput. Pistol Pete's on still. I'm still on. Yeehaw! What's up, Jive? I have FAL's contact info. I was trying to find where it was again so I could ask how things are going, but I couldn't find him. One that lets me shoot double-aught buck. Can't afford that. 5 round is all I can do for the year. Allegedly. I noticed with my roommate gone, there's barely any cups out. That's because I don't do what he does. Grab a cup, use it. Grab another cup, use it. Grab another cup, use it. There's literally like maybe 6 cups in total, and then some mugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cups in total, and then like a couple mugs. Which some of these mugs were here before he left. He's been gone a few days. You know I'm issue with that, FFL? Unless you live in California. California doesn't allow it. Skeet shooting range, try some birdshot. Nice. Shot a 37 and 50 today. Not a good trap. What's going on in the trailer park tonight? Actually, I'm not in a trailer park. I live on a 1-acre lot. It is a mobile home, though. Earlier we were listening to news about Charlie Kirk's trial, as well as the 16 children that were found in a bad environment. And now I'm washing, and I was folding laundry at that time, and now I'm washing dishes. Like clay pigeon competition shooting, but we have so much shotgun ammunition, I never get through it. When you hunt, the grandfather used to hunt. There you go. Got stuff in. I'm just on disability, so it's hard to acquire much stuff after bills. And buddy, bleep with the shorty shells for 12. I never have. Runs them native without custom plugs. If you have a FedEx down the road, they're moistened, so you have 20 gauge or 12. Let me know, and I'll mail you some stuff. Hey, Ninja, have you mailed off that thing of mine yet? Got 25 round of target ammo for 11 cheese, and got $10 off at Fin Feather Fur for a B-Day month thing. Do so was 1 cheeseburger. Oh, here's a 12 gauge. We don't know, Savage. Welcome, by the way. What they're telling us, I don't believe is true. I don't believe it's true. It's packed, but I haven't taken the FFL yet, Jerome. All right, well, it'd be nice to know what I got eventually when it arrives. Yeah, allegedly moist, right? Allegedly. Had to find the original box and tape it up again and get it shipping label. There you go. Well, we're trying to wait patiently, but it's hard when I'm really excited, wondering what it's going to be. Shorty shells run very well in the Mossberg 590 Shockwave. Do they work well in a pump? I wonder. Had to go down to the store and get like bubble wrap for the special one. Yep. Ninja, are you in Ken Rod's Discord? I'm not sure if he's over there or not. It's Candy Cane is his actual name that he used to be a long time ago. He's changed his name probably 5 or 6 times since then. Not any Discords, I tried it, but I felt like they were spying on me. What? I just don't pay attention to them hardly anymore unless it's individual messaging because I just get way too many messages on them. They're about every single topic on the planet Earth, and the 5 groups, whatever it is that I'm joined with, has every single topic under the earth. So it's like I'd get hundreds of notifications in a day just on Discord, and I'm like, I can't do that. So I put most of them on silent. I'm irritated enough when I get so many notifications about YouTube lives when I'm trying to work, so I put it on silent. Except I need to have it on so I can get phone calls for the business, but then you get these telemarketers while you're up on a ladder putting mud, and you got to go down, go answer it, and it's a telemarketer. I was even using the Discord anymore. Yeah, my bad, Jerome. Haha, I spam too much. Oh, I wasn't meaning you. I said Discord groups. Do I have a Mossberg 835? I do have a subscriber in the chat that has 2 of them. One's a semi-auto, and the other one he has a pump. I think that was Zero. Was that you? Hello, sir. What's up, C? Welcome. I remember having you. Was it in the live the other day, or was that I was in a live chat with you somewhere else? I do. I can't remember. I might have it somewhere. Telemarketers, I know they're a pain. Not me. Not okay. That was someone else. Then they said they had 2 of them. They acquired a. I think it was a. At 835. One was a pump and one was a semi-auto. Well, maybe traces. It could have been. Do I have any J-frames? Let's see. I have 2. I don't know what mine is. I have the 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum with like a 8 3/4. And then I have 2 Colts that are police positives. I don't know what. They're made in early 1900s. What frame those are. And then I have a single action 357 Magnum Ruger Blackhawk, new model. Foya Ninja, I know Eleanor called Desert one time to prank call him. He didn't answer, so I probably don't have it saved then. It's probably something else. Too many trannies on Tinder. I had to delete my account. A fake gangster. What's up, Elias Sullivan? Do they still make Mossy Oak bottom land for them because I have one? It's a pump. Possibly. Love telemarketers ruining their day brings me joy. I do not have time to make them have a ruined day, unfortunately. To Alexander McClar. I do have your address. You're right, because it's on the shipping manifest of the shirts that you bought from me. What's up, Weird Cat? So I have a merch store, guys, and a few of the guys in the chat bought stuff. Moist Beans got a sticker. Ninja got 3 t-shirts for his children. Another guy got 2 t-shirts, a shirt and a hat. So if you like merch, I got hats, t-shirts, stickers, mugs, placemats, hoodies, all sorts of stuff. Check us out. It's in the link of my store as well as the description of my channel. After some comments and some videos. That might have been it too. Hello, the sticker I bought allowed you to dox me, Jerome. Yeah, I got your address now. Yeah, plenty of time. You're in YouTube for hours. Yeah, but that's after I'm off of work, and that's when they're not calling me. Allegedly. They call me when I'm on a ladder spreading mud or up on a ladder hanging a ceiling fan, and then they call me and I have to go all the way down the ladder. I see it's a local number, so I answer it. And they use a local number and then run it through a router to get a Somebody from another country from India or something like that. Let's see. I highly recommend his t-shirts. My kids that will wear them to go shooting range or shooting competition. Logos are super cool. Got my sticker from Jerome on the ammo can. Social Security scam was my favorite so far. They said police on the wait to get me, so I told Indian guy they better have level 4 armor plate hitting upon me. Yeah, you had that 30-06 ready. You're going to say on a ladder spreading cheeks. No, not quite. I do that too when I have time. See, when the kids are doing their shooting competition, people recognize the Desert Army logo. Put your number on the government no list, no call list. I don't know, but then would that have a problem because it's a business number? So obviously I need to have it active for everybody. It works 100%. 100% of the time it doesn't work. APM on API gets the job done. Definitely. Yeah, because obviously it's a business number and I got to have it open for everybody, except they use a local number. They'll call on a 520 area code, which is my area. And I'll answer it, and they'll take like 3 seconds to answer because they need to hear a voice first. Once they hear a voice, they'll run it through this back door that's some other number. And then I'm like, I got that need help with this Google listing or something like that. Come down 0. You're going AP now. It was just a home intruder 0. You're overreacting, brother. Candy Cane LG, you can get my address from Jerome or find a way into Discord and message me and I'll send you a phone number. You can delete Discord again. It doesn't block calls. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out, but I can figure it out. But yeah, we got a giveaway coming up, guys. So my first post I ever posted on YouTube was July 22nd, 2025. It was my PSA Rock 5.7. We have a giveaway coming up. That would be Wednesday, hopefully Wednesday, the 22nd of July. I'm going to do some shorts about it. Thank you for the Flying Eagle. Appreciate it. Thank you, Beautiful Earth. So yeah, we have a giveaway of hats, t-shirts, and stickers coming up. No association of YouTube. And hopefully that'll be July 22nd. That'll be a year anniversary. It's midnight here, Candy Cane. If you're midnight, that means I must be about 9. Gold coin. Thank you for the gold coin. I appreciate it. Ninja over pen is just being sure I pen. Let's see. Yeah, I'm 9:15 where I'm at. Cool. Congratulations on the year. Yep. July 22nd will be a year of me, my first post. Means a lot to even be offered some cool midnight over here too. Just a whole bunch of people just posted stuff. Shoot off for B-Dex Foundation. Keep an eye out on your email, man. It means a lot to even be offered some cool. Thanks. It was weird. The chat like jumped around there for a little bit. I don't know if a drop of water from washing dishes landed on it. That could have been it on the screen. I'm saying is don't need to call carpet because right. Used to live in Goodyear. Nice. I have last time I was through there was a little over a year ago when I was traveling. November. Actually, the last time through there would have been December 2024. I'm in southern Arizona near Sierra Vista. Off of 10 in Benson area. God bless y'all. I hope everyone has a good night and safe, y'all. Let's see. You have a good night too, Moist. Yep. Yep. Take a breather, 0. Stop looking through the thermal video in the dark in your house. Stay fluid, moist, and have a good night. Doc says I'm normal. Allegedly. Allegedly, I'm normal. Allegedly, I'm normal. Got some stuff stuck to the blade of this knife. got like little teeth on it, and it's got junk stuck in the little teeth. Gotta clean them out real good like. Travel 10 a few times when I drove truck. Yep. Prepare for the worst case every day. Yep. 0, I need that, doc. Can you give me a referral? Oh, that way they could tell you that you're all okay, nothing's wrong. Allegedly. You're all good, mate. My doctor uses ChatGPT. No wonder. I'm 102 pounds. Yeah, 0, I'm worried about you. From now on, you don't get to play with anything larger than 240 probably, or 20 mil. Or 188 mortars. As the AI diagnosed me. So I just got accused on TikTok of using AI. I did a video of me presenting that I have a supporter of the channel and did a walkthrough of the code, just like I had here on YouTube. And TikTok flagged it and said I was using AI-generated content without letting them know that it was AI. And so there's not a spot where you can plead your case, like explain it, but there is a spot where it says that I have posted the same thing on other platforms, that they are incorrect, and that there was something else, I forget what. I did a little video on TikTok about it. But there's not a spot where you can explain yourself, which is weird. Anyway, they gave me a warning, not a strike, saying that because I used AI content without letting people know it was AI, which it wasn't AI anyways, that I got a heavy warning because of it, which is dumb. ChatGPT told me I've been offed for 2 years. I doubt it. Yep. 10 mil mortars, Army was a blast. Desktop, a real 0. I'm being serious. If you start running around with the heavy ordnance of the carpet boom in Collins, could actually blow up neighbor's house, allegedly. How to use grids. We good. But yeah, I just got TikTok like 2 weeks ago, and they already gave me a heavy warning for using AI when I didn't even use AI. I did a video about it on TikTok. They probably use AI to detect AI. They do. YouTube does. YouTube tells us not to use AI unless we say we used it, and they use it every second of the day. Tried to carpet pew pew and accidentally left under to blowing my neighbors. Whoops. Exactly, savage. That's what I hate about YouTube and other platforms. They use AI themselves and then accuse us of using AI when I've never used AI ever for my YouTube channels. I'm totally authentic. My logo is generated by AI, but other than that, I do not use AI for my stuff. I do it all myself. I edit it myself, upload it myself, manually go through it and remove bad words myself. Yeah, you've never seen me. Yeah, because I don't use AI. I don't use AI. It's like you have to label this as not AI because AI is going to say it's AI and it's not AI. To keep close eye on local mosque ranging. Uh-oh. That's why I'm worried about 0 in car, few pews, and originally going to accidentally blow his house up in neighbor's garage. Uh-oh. I'm going to cuss. Fart. Like that? Ding dong. I just use it for thumbnails. I don't even use it for thumbnails. Because even though... So... I know AI generated thumbnails get people's attention, so it might help. But at the same time, it kind of is cheesy and fake, but it gives you the views. That's what I don't like about it. Us do it without it, and we don't get as many views. Other people do it with it, and it looks cheesy, but it's not authentic, and they get more views because they have a catchy thumbnail. Troll be trolling. Yep. Trump has a potty mouth? No, I don't. Let's see, George Carlin has a list of words you should memorize if you think fart is a swear word. We weren't allowed to use it growing up. We had to say, oh, I gassed it, or I passed gas, or I tooted. They actually need to get rid of the cookie filters. Oh, that thing's dumb. That cookie filter is dumb as a box of rocks. So many of those filters are just crazy. They're so crazy, my friend. Crazy man, crazy man. Really notice a difference at all, to be honest. Kind of have to fight myself to not swear. Dogs chilling. Yeah, both of them are down there. Yeah, that one's Canella, and Skittles is closer in. That's Canella down here. Skittles is closer in, so you can't see him. Canella's the German Shepherd. Yep, she be chilling. I gotta wash up some of this stuff for camping. It was sitting in my car, and then I cleaned out the car. Haven't washed it. It's like a one of those. It's called maple something, but it's pretty much like those other ones. It's called fire maple. It's like those fancier ones that cost twice the amount. Stay cool, dudes, and possibly dudettes. Yep. Go to bed, Moist. I know he just keeps talking. Moist, understand what they say, that people who swear casually inherently tell the truth more often. Has something to do with reduced mental filter. Camping is the heat in this heat. Oh no, this was back in April, maybe it was. I forget. Time out was a great thing. Pop out, rock out bar. What's up, Dallas? His moms used to call me Fire Maple, and I'm not sure why. No, this is a brand of camping stuff for heating up food. I forget what the other brand is that people use, and it's like twice the amount. Wife tells me I have no filter. Hey, you too. You be safe too, Dallas. Bet you what's his name's got his porch going right now, huh? She hears on the Xbox game chat. Just don't start calling some weird name. She'll be like, what are you doing over there now? I'll let that sit in there a little bit. Calling out a girl's name. I'm on the Xbox. What do you want, Skittles? The camp heating must work because I got 2 kids. Fire Maple, are you Red Heat Canadian? No, it's a brand of a camp stove thingy, Fire Maple. Me and dudes be saying some pretty unhinged stuff, throwing shades at each other. Hey Trey, we're scrubbing up dishes. Earlier we listened to Charlie Kirk's news about his trial, as well as news about the 16 children that are found in the house. And then now we're washing dishes. I was folding laundry at some of the time too, so. Jake from State Farm, I swear, honey. That's who it was. It was Jake. Not Jacqueline, Jake. Goatee Wall. Oh, wah. Go Milwaukee! Hey, see what someone gave me for my birthday? Of course, it's backwards. But it says, a man's heart plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. Proverbs 16:9. Oh, great, Trey. Go away, Trey. One of my longtime friends gave it to me for my birthday. We don't promote DeWalt here. No, I'm joking. Shut up. Yeah. We weren't allowed to use that when we were growing up either. Shut up. Be quiet. We'd get the spanking if we used that word. I mean, we're having an attitude issue and it needed an adjustment with a paddle. attitude adjustment with the paddle. It's cheesy. Yep. Team Arrow because it's cheap. Hey, that's true. It is. Especially if you get the brushless ones. They actually aren't too bad. Steve Wall at work and Craftsman around the house. Again, the Craftsman brushless actually aren't bad. You know why? They're made by the same company as DeWalt. Stanley Black & Decker. Yep. They are made by the same company as DeWalt. Guess you also like SIG too. I have two SIGs. I have an M18 and I have a 365. They old and still get job done. Yep. Yep. Why aren't you at the gym, Trey? Was he? I don't know. Yes, SIG is good too. Team Glock. I'm not a big Glock fan. You pay too much for what you get. To make it as good as something else, you have to put so much money into it to make it as good as something that costs cheaper. And it's just reliable. Just as reliable. Plus, the ergonomics just don't work the greatest for me. They're too blocky. They're too big. The angle's wrong. Triggers are garbage. Although I hear the 6 is a better trigger. I don't know. I have one Glock. But I give them trash in that respect, but they're one of the most reliable all around. If you want something that'll always go boom when you pull it, get a law enforcement trade-in Glock. Won't let you down. Not do Glock, don't fit my hands, feels like a 2x4. Same. Canic? I have 2 Canics. One I don't shoot that often because it's a collector's edition. MC9? Nice. The Prime? All you need is a high point, throw everything else away. Hey, they work. That's the thing, and they don't go off on their own. What's up, Henry? Give yourself a Twitty Twister for me. I don't even know what a Twitty Twister is. How's Henry Gopo? Welcome to the channel. So we're washing dishes right now, but our channel normally does cave explorings and mines, repelling. We do a hiking out content, all sorts of outdoor stuff, including shooting content and hunting stuff too. Savage, no, but some states are trying to ban them because of the convert to FA, like Moist. Yeah, jokes aside, I like to say my dumb little brother and his dumb friend about 9mm high power back in the 90s, ran 5,000 through it, cleaning and never jammed. Yep. You said Henry Dilbo? No, I said Bilbo Baggins. High point, they yeet cannon for the poorest. Yeah, if it doesn't fire, you yeet it at them. Thinking about starting a fishing channel. There's a lot of them I follow. Thanks, Boondocks. I follow quite a bit of fishing channels. One of them is here in Arizona. Hey, Baker. What's up, buddy? Hey, is J-Mac live yet, bro? Appreciate you coming in. J-Mac live yet? Can you get a yee yee? Yeah, I watch Yee Yee Life. They're a pretty big channel. Where they shoot anything and everything. Poor Fred. Fred, you make it? Fred? How many Freds does it take to stop a 50 caliber? Not sure. I will check. Consider the high point the same as an AK-47 or an SKS. They aren't the most accurate, but they never jam. The Ralph would win a high point. Told the guy, if I win, I will destroy it. Hey, I would torture chest it for sure. Can we get a sweet? Except you didn't have the T on it. I added the T. Can we get a, oh yeah? That's what someone said yesterday. You hear that Canadian banned the M1 carbine? That's sad. Baker says, nope, he doesn't have one going right now. Okay. I did not hear about that. I know they're trying to ban the SKS, if they haven't already. SKS is very accurate with a scope duct taped on it. Oh, that sounds familiar. Mine aftermarket 8% with a Gen 3 generic and sure magazine MP AR9. Nice. Ha ha ha. I tried to get a high point 45 birthday with others. See the guy that works feed store told me no and wouldn't sell it to me. Allegedly, M1 carbine is a good ranch rifle. Yeah, because they're short and small. They shoot the 30 carbine. You duct tape the scope on at least twice around. Duct tape a flashlight and 2 of the most accurate. Yep. And they thought they would get truck with that at his golf course. What's up, Davey? Smile. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming into our channel. I guess I'm average. I don't know. I need a beard trim and I need a haircut. And I need to take a shower yet tonight. You get a, yeah. Actually, I think the Mini 14 is a better ranch gun. Yeah, I would say it would be better too. Although, well, both of them are mag specific, I guess. Can we get it? Oh, that one right. You're so handsome to me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think you're new to the channel. If you're wondering what we do, we don't normally say oh yeahs here, but we do cave and outdoor stuff, hiking, mine exploring, rappelling into mine shafts, off the cliffs, hunting, shooting, all sorts of cool outdoor activities. Check us out. It's free to subscribe. You hate the Mini 14? I don't own one yet. I hear if you get a new one, it's better because they're more accurate. That's just what I hear. I don't know one. Maybe one of these days. I had a good day, though. Mostly just home chilling. Chilling at home, mostly. A Mini 14 is a model of a firearm. It's a Ruger. Taped scope on my M107 that broke one time with 2 camouflage stretchy tape that wasn't even real duct tape. The Jamalot. Give me an UWU. Uwu? I don't even know what that is, bro. I have no idea. Ain't got the foggiest, mate. Uh-oh, my phone's dying. What's your favorite hunting rifle? Depends where I'm shooting. If I'm in the brush, I bring my 30-30. If I'm at distance, I probably use my 270 or 30-06. I need to plug in my phone. Problem is, it is... Let's see here. I guess I could put the stand here. Gotta change the direction of everything. Raise it up. There we go. Let's plug it in. 6.5 Creed, need more. Here's the Mini 14. It's a better ranch in a truck because the M4 takes a lot of space because of the way it's formed. Unless you got the folding, basically exactly the same as the 15. The better action goes. Merge legs make a good ranch gun. Yeah. What'd you have for supper? Nothing yet. So my favorite is either 20 long rifle or 300 Win Mag. And make me wonder where the world went wrong. Had collard greens, baked potatoes, and fried chicken that was leftovers. Hi, Daddy. What's up, Zach?
How's it going, son? How'd your day go? How was school?
It was horrible. A guy at school spit on me and called me bad names.
Really? Okay. 6.5 PRC is good. I don't like all these specialty rounds they recently came out with. Like a 6.5 ARC, a 6 Creedmoor, something like that. All these weird numbers that are just going to fade out, just like the 25-06. Or the Western. The new Ferrari. All these new stuff, to me, it's just like why reinvent the wheel when the old works just as good or better? Because there's so many options of ammo out for all these old stuff. So why recreate the wheel, right? 7.5 PRC? They probably do. There's so many different models they make nowadays. What is it? The 6.8 West, the 6.8 Blackout, or what's that one? There's a new Blackout. 8.5 Blackout is, I forget. There's another Blackout out. Ooh, that hot water is hot. Burn the back of my hand. New Federal 6.5 peak ammo. I'm gonna make 6.5 PRC disappear. Problem with the new designer ammo, even though the 6.5 Creed is amazing, is that there's a new one every other month. Yeah, and they cost a ton to shoot. 25 250. Yeah, they outlawed it. 8.6 Blackout. There we go. Because they also have a something Western too. Is that a 6.5 Western or 8 something Western? I forget. Something Western. In a backcountry, something called a backcountry. If you look at the ballistics in real life scenario, there's virtually no difference between a 300 Win Mag and a 300 PRC or 308 Lapua. At 1,000 yards? How many people do 1,000 yards hunting? Nobody hardly. 6.8 Western, 7mm backcountry. There you go. 22250 is probably my favorite of everything. Gotta pick one. I don't have a 22250. There's also a 338 there's like a real short 338. It looks similar to the size of a, it looks kind of like a short stubby, like a 300 Blackout. It's called a 338 something else. And then there's also a 338 Norma mag that the military is trying to replace their 50 BMG with, because the ballistics are just barely under a 50 BMG, but higher than a 338, and it's way lighter than the 50. 338 ARC, that's it, yep. Oh, you underestimate how much I pay attention to your dumb channel, Jerome. Yeah, that's it. I knew there was a 338, I just couldn't remember what it was. I mean, I'd say a 338 Lapua is more than a 300 Win Mag, definitely. But then a 300, what was the other one you said? 300 PRC, I don't really know much about that, or a 300 Weatherby Magnum. That one supposedly is just barely under a 338 Lapua. Thoughts on the M7? I'm not sure. The only thing we ever really hunt anymore, coyotes, song dogs. 17H Mark 223 bolt action and 222 video bolt action. That's camo out. Nice. Desert camo and snow. Got a 77 Fury, 27 Fury, not sure about it yet. Yeah, those seem like they're pretty nice. 277 Fury. There's another name for it too. I forget what the other name is. You know how military has 5.56, then you can shoot 223 in it. I'm pretty sure the 277 Fury, they have another number as well. They have two numbers. It's like the military number of it, like a military 5.56. What is it? 5.56 by 54 or something like that. Sig Cross rifle. Is that what they call it? A 6.8 Wraith? The 277, I mean. Is a Sig Cross. Hey, Sig Cross are good. Backfire YouTube channel says they're pretty good, the Cross. I'm pretty sure Ken Rod has a Cross too in a 6.5 Creed or something like that. 6.8 by 51. Yeah, there we go. I was thinking it was a 6.8 something. Little Savage 17. Yep. Let's see here. How does disappear? Yeah, it would. Experience with one. They're awesome. Yeah, I hear they're pretty good. But yeah, Backfire YouTube channel. He's a Pew Pew channel. He says that those Sig Crosses, he really likes them. I haven't actually watched his in a while because YouTube hasn't been giving me alerts of them. Because that's how it is. If you don't watch them anymore, you won't get alerts, even though your alerts are on. They say that when you go to turn your alerts on, they'll tell you. If you don't watch it enough, you will not get alerts. It's like, what the what?
Why so mean? Why you so mean, YouTube?
I want alerts from everybody that I have alerts on for. It'd be non-stop then. It's a great varmint gun. Yep. Let's see, between 3-year-old son with 17, 1, 2, 3, every 5 yards, 650 yards. Yep. Get a Tika T3X Ace. Yep. 6.8 give them an extra few hundred yards of effectiveness. Oh, instead of using their 223 5.56, 17 was going on because it wasn't big enough at the time. Machine caliber and wasn't like a Mitchell Magnum. Yep, I think the CVA Cascade is the best rifle for the money. Yeah, that's a decent one, according again to Backfire. He's tested those as well. He tests a lot of bolt action firearms. Backfire, not as many semi-autos, because he's into hunting, so he tests a lot of firearms for people. A lot of channels, a lot of people reach out to him to test them. Plus, he has a whole bunch himself. 6.5 cream of competition at my 3-year-old son. He's 17, amazing effective coyotes. Watch Hootie too. I do as well, yeah. He got banned for a whole week, was it? Because they accused him of something? So he's not out of the woods with it either. He gets accused of it too. All sorts of stuff as well. Thing is, I think those big channels, at least like Brandon Herrera, I'm pretty sure they have an inside man to help them when they have issues in YouTube because they're so big. Which to me would be nice to know that. An inside man at YouTube to help us out. Because us little guys are suffering too, you know, here. We would like some help as well. Like an actual person can review it and then say that it's good instead of this automated stuff. Kicking it out all the time, even after appeals upon appeals upon appeals. Alright. I'm not saying you go to the varmint with a 338 LaPoo, 300, 6.5, 243. Yep, it is effective. Advantage over 22 Magnum for sure. So there's a guy I watched that did on Groundhog 17 HMR versus 22 mag. And most of the time, yeah, because you can get the ballistic tips on the 17 HMR, they're a little better. We need to cut YouTube money off now. Now, long time now. Skittles is like, what's going on? My doggy Skittles. Back had to fill softener, salt. Oh yeah, we grew up using a softener like that. You had to add salt. My parents still have one that needs hooked up. They never hooked it back up because where they're at now, their water's actually pretty good. So they actually need to lose it in a boating accident or something. I have a 22 mag in a Rough Rider revolver. That's the only 22 mag I have. Would use them to poach deer. I'm very familiar with 22 long rifle, and I will say that 17 bar blows out of the water. Never got a 17. I have a 17 now. I don't have a 204. 204 is obviously it's a big. It's more of a deer cartridge. Hootie Hoo just did a shootout with it of the faster rounds that he has. What's up, Raven? Greens from across the pond. How's it going, bud? Think about getting a 17-inch Waro, and even if you're the economy version, super fun. Yeah, the economy version would be like a Savage synthetic stock. I was able to acquire a CZ deluxe version for about 200 cheeseburgers cheaper. You have the 2040 because I wanted to stay on top of the new cartridges. Ouch. YouTube just reset my clock here. 17 Hornet. He just did the 17 Hornet as well? Maybe today he did. I think it was yesterday I saw his post. It was the other one. Where he did all the fast cartridges he owns. And doing, let's see how fast they are. I think it was yesterday I watched that one. Oh, I got one of the mice, guys. Actually, I didn't. Skittles did. My doggy Skittles saw a mouse in the house and pounced on it, and then Canella ate it. That was yesterday. There's a little mouse. Skittles got it, and Canella decided she wanted to eat it. She wouldn't let me have it. I tried getting out of her mouth. She wouldn't let me have it. I need to heat up this pizza and have a late supper at 9:45 in the evening.
9:45.
Smells like rain out there. We got a little bit of rain this afternoon, evening. Not much, though, to really measure. It's just like a downpour for 15 minutes, maybe. Protein. Crunchies. Got a bug on me there. Had, past tense. It's done with now. Let's see here. Somebody liked my post. A couple of people liked my post. Nice. This random dude in your edit had me laughing because he just flew up on the screen of the sky. I have nowhere. I had to pause and go back to see it. Yeah. Let's see. I got a couple subscriber notifications here. I got to clear away. 416 would be fun. The 416 Rigby, it would be. The nice thing about the 416 Rigby, it also can fire the 416 Ruger Magnum, I think it's called. So if you'd want to shoot both, you have to get the Rigby. If you get the Ruger version, you can only shoot 416. Wish I was allowed firearms. I know, Raven. Then that'd be nice. You can have pellet guns because I have a friend over there across the pond. I'm now back. My internet crashed and I made phone power off. Yep. Fix like a mule. Yeah, it would. Got a CZ Super Safari 550 and 416 Ruby. Nice. You want to lose it in a boating accident. Okay. Thoughts on the taser. Hey, what's up, Gray? So there was a 416 Rigby CZ. It might have been a Super Safari as well. It did not last very long. It was at my local pawn and gun. Double barrel. So it was worth, or no, it was a bolt action. Sorry, it was a bolt action. And someone came in with all the loading equipment for it too, and the brass, some of the brass. I think the guy who acquired the 416 got all the other stuff for it. It was immaculate looking. Bought arm Cyclops, the 4570 is the most kick I own. For a little handgun, yeah. Yours is bolt. Yeah, this was bolt as well. It wasn't a double. I was mistaken on that. It was a bolt action because it was the CZ big old bolt action they got. So what do we got? 18%. Who's this? Got another notification, so I wasn't sure what was going on. Here's bolt. Yep.
Yours is boat auction too, mate. Is it boat auction too?
One arm Cyclops. Yeah, I haven't shot one of those. I don't know anybody who has one. I'd love to shoot one. You know me, I love recoil because whilst I own a 460, a 500, and a 10 gauge double barrel shotgun that I pull both triggers at the same time and almost fall on my butt. I got a short about that. Someone says you might not want to do that because that could cause the wood to crack. I'm like, yeah, it's true.
Tea and crumpets. Would you like some tea? Would you like some crumpets with your tea, mate?
Trying to break up some ice here. Skittles is like, what's going on? He's looking back and forth like, what? Like, what's up? Yeah, the ice ain't coming out. It isn't coming out. It's hard to break this up without cutting yourself. There we go.
I got the full cup of ice. A full cup of ice, mate. Phew.
La culpa es hielo. It's ice, Skittles. You don't want ice. You don't wonder what's going on. Do you have a lot of bolt-action shotguns? I only have one bolt-action shotgun. It's a 12 gauge with like a 36-inch barrel. It's a Marlin. It's a Marlin original goose gun, bolt-action 12 gauge. 2 in the mag. It's removable. It fits 3-inch magnums. Pawn shop special. Chris Martin. Oh, buddy of mine. Then an early 70 model into 220 Swift that I really wanted, but I have a little kid and I can barely walk. So even though I talk a good game, I couldn't really have money for cool stuff. This mug is insulated, so it keeps drinks pretty cool with ice in it. I had ice sitting in that thing for quite a while. It stayed pretty good. Hey, Dallas just went live. You sent me something with Bond's arm. Okay. Talk about a fireball, man. Hold it. You probably did a video and then found that within the video. That's cool. That fire ring is like, what is that? Like 5 feet away from the barrel? 3 feet maybe from the end of the barrel? I saw that. Yep, I saw that. Note the 90-degree angle. Was that with both hands? It's almost a 90. It's like 85.2. 400 grain a spicy load. Can you shoot? You probably don't want to, though. Although, I think Banana Ballistics did. Bear loads from, what you call it? Buffalo Boar. This load is 1776 out my lever action. $1,776 foot-pounds or 1,776 RPM, not RPM, feet per second. Of course, in that I wouldn't be able to, but I'm pretty sure Banana Ballistics or One Shot TV, one of them, ran those really hot bear loads from Buffalo Boar in a Cyclops. I think it was One Shot TV. Did make some subsonic ammo is better to shoot. Oh, I'm sure it is. I mean, it's not going to go that fast anyways because there's no room to burn out the powder hardly. I mean, if you slide that long cartridge in there, technically, the tip of your barrel and the tip of the bullet are probably only like an inch. Rich is bad. Allegedly. I need to get that pizza warmed up. Most of the fizz is out of this drink. And it's time to grind. He doesn't do that much anymore. I love his little guy that sits on the toilet. That's not how it was. That's what your wife says. or something like that. Once in a blue moon, his wife does pop on. I need a plate. I need a plate, mate.
And it's time to grind.
Flips his hat down. What's up, Canella? What are you doing, girl? What's up? 205 joules. Thanks, guys. 38 likes. And Mr. Rich says, I have some crazy chest pain. Wonder why. Spider-Man Brand New Day exclusive in theaters. Is it actually showing right now? I know in the summer they came out with a lot of videos, movies. I don't know why. Stuffed crust. Get that on it. That's what I got last night. Haven't been having caffeine. Normally people get bad headaches if they're addicted to it and they're not on it for a while. 7-inch of rifling and barrel, the rest is cartridge. Yep, I figured it was barely anything. Yeah, I don't think alcohol has caffeine, right? I just went and saw Paddington Bear live action and they said it wasn't that good.
Oh, Skittles! What's up, buddy?
Alright, I need to shut off my laptop. Let's see here. I close that, shut down that, and shut off the laptop. Click and shut down. Hey Skittles, what's up? What's up, buddy? What's up, my doggy? Let's see here. I've been using caffeine patches to quit Zen. I just remembered I'm rich. Try looking into ultra patches. Not the way it is.
That's not the way it is.
What is that? I don't know what it is. No caffeine, no nicotine, and no crash. Just focus. Focus, 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 focus. I'm not even sure how long I went on live because this thing reset. And it's 10 o'clock. Let's see, I probably started at 7:30. 7:15, I don't know. Need to quit nicotine? I just Googled it. Skittles! Let's see, did I have more laundry in here? No. I did in here. Ugh. A couple small loads. Smaller loads. Tomorrow, my parents are taking me out to eat for my birthday. They've been needing to, but it hasn't been working out. My mom got sick for like a week and a half after they got back from their anniversary trip from up north. Seemed good. I've been using it for a few months now. Can improve sleep and focus, which is cool. Which about caffeine though? Can we get some more banana ballistic quotes? I'm drawing a blank on most of his quotes right now. Just released his sleep pouches, trying them out. Well, guys, I'll probably stop the live. We're at 10 o'clock, and I need to eat my supper. So, hey, Australian Rider, welcome back. We're just about to close the live down, actually. I've been live probably 2 hours or more, so. Appreciate you all coming in. Thank you for the 205 jewels. That's about $2.05. Appreciate that. Thank you for the likes. Double tap the screen before I leave, guys. Appreciate you coming in. And give it a thumbs up. It's time to grind. Yep. Oh, then have a nice night. Yep. Yeah, we're headed out. I've been live for like 2 hours or more, so. Appreciate y'all coming by. And you can never go wrong serving Christ. He is the way, the truth, and life. No man cometh to the Father but through Jesus Christ. You have a good day, good night, good rest of your life. Keep following Christ. If you look to him first, folks. He's the way. Appreciate you. Till next time, folks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night. Laters. Auf Wiedersehen. Thanks for the like. Bye.